Good afternoon, good evening. It's JB, Ignite Your Purpose. Over there is Max, Ignite Your Purpose. Also,
82.
episode 82. 82 shows each and every day. So thank you for tuning in and being with us. It's our mission, it's our driver, our kind of purpose here is to share our experiences from our past so you can sort of take on board those tips and tricks and experiences and learnings and hopefully make better choices for yourselves. So a wee while ago, Max's wife was telling me about when he discovered his Soto Zen dude.
Dude.
He is a dude.
Yes.
Basically spent 3 years shadowing him, and he's kind of been studying under him for another 7 years or so. And I just wanted to ask Max about his experiences within those 3 years. My first class, I think it was my first class a couple of years ago, and Christian was talking about how Max had gone to a big meeting, I think it was in Vancouver, for a big record deal, and the 22-year-old asswipe was giving it this and giving it this and giving it this, and then I don't know how long Max had been with him, but he just went, bin it, it ain't worth it. And then he kind of jumped off a lot of social media again and then started to really work on himself, to believing that he can do this himself. He doesn't need a hand holding off somebody who's got this position in a big company because mummy or daddy has done very well. I'm only probably vaguely remembering that story, but tell us where you started, Max, how you met Christian, and then how it's evolved from there. And I'll sit here and drink my tea.
Let me do all the work. First off, for anybody listening, man, there is no easy way, man. Like I always hear, and John and I talk about this all the time, when you look on social media, it's like, take this course and you'll be rich in a month. Take this pill and you'll be good tomorrow. That's such horseshit, man. If you're ready to work, put in the time, and when I say work, I don't mean 2 minutes a day. I mean, you're ready to put in work. Your life will change. Now, for me, I was searching for a long time. I've been out of the house at 16. I was fortunate enough to learn a trade. Because I came from an immigrant family, I knew how to work hard, and some good things did end up happening in my life. I was doing a job, and I was searching. I thought at the time I was eating well. I was reading books on spirituality and Buddhism, and that's all it was, reading, because I didn't have a teacher. And
so, Max, when you were reading these things, were you applying them or just reading them?
That's the thing. I was not applying them, man, because I didn't even know how to. I didn't know, it's no different than when I start, if anybody taking a course, man, like, it's all good in the hood to take the course, but if you go back to doing nothing, what was the point of taking the course? What was the point of reading the book? Yeah, we garnish information, but it's gone again until we start living that life. So I was up on a building. Some people may know my trade was painting, construction, Italian, being true to the game. I own a company. I had staff working, so I went up to look at what they had done that day. And I remember climbing over the ladder, and there he was. He was like, man, you guys are making noise. I'm going to close my door. And I was like, sorry, bud, see ya. And I went to walk away, and I swear to you, brother, it was like something grabbed me and just said, you got to talk to this guy. And I was climbing over the ladder, and I went and knocked on the door, and I was just like, bro, I got to meet you. And he was like, yeah, we do. Exchanged cards, said, come see me. And I really knew nothing about him. The minute I went and seen him, there was an energy exchange. There was some type of vibe. He invited me into his class, into his Zendo, as well as his practice. Started working on me, started feeling pulses, started checking energies and all this stuff. And the second time I met him, I said, man, you mind? He gave me his number. And right then and there, bro, for 3 years, I was with him day in, day out, learning like a sponge. This thing did not for 1 minute stop talking to him. I don't know how he didn't punch me, because all I was doing, I was walking around with a pad, just and writing everything down, bro. Because that guy has so much knowledge. And when I mean that, I'm saying, and I told you this yesterday, John, he has his teachings that don't even exist anymore. This is what people do not understand. They do not even teach this stuff anymore. 7-generation lineage. Generation is 25 years. Even in Chinese medicine today, they don't teach the levels that come this far off the body anymore. They don't teach those meridians, from what I understand anyway. Maybe some people do, and they're blessed. But this guy knows shit that just isn't taught anymore. Went over to that area of the world, and like I say to John all the time, he knows stuff about food, diet, how the body works, that in the most modern form of science, I've never even seen him talk about what he's talking about, because he does talk about the trifecta, right? How the mind, the body, and there's the ethereal self all relate. For example, John had a pain in his neck the other day. I had some issues in my knee, and we both knew it was an emotional thing, not I hurt my knee or I hurt my neck. And that's where this whole zone, this whole interaction came to be. That's a short form of it, Johnny.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say something completely not that related.
Perfect.
Well, it kind of is and kind of isn't. And then you can tell me about where the journey's continued from there. And I had an experience recently. I gave a presentation, first one I've given in 20 years. I remember being ripped apart as a young soldier, 16 in the army, being asked to speak about something I had no knowledge of. I'd never spoken in front of anyone. And I got this phrase we used to use, your arsehole torn apart. Just got ripped apart. And I just said there and then, unless I freaking know it, I'm not standing up. And I've spoken about climbing or kayaking or things that I'm interested in, but not on any other subject. So I stood up to speak about that, and I gave some of the motivation was a book I'd read by a guy called Rich Roll, Finding Ultra, which isn't how to or why to any spiritual guidance or anything like that. It's just about a story about a man who changed his life. And that kind of got me going. But when I was going through this journey, I realized that you can look at the bookshelf over there, and a lot of it is knowledge, and it's interesting and it's useful. But I was somebody else or something else, or a podcast or a vlog or a magazine or a newspaper. And at no point, my first, maybe about 2006, I first touched on self-awareness. Got it for a bit, drifted away. But only when I started looking inwards to work out what I was doing to control my own destiny, not what this book said or what this person said, did I then gain sort of this control. So there, I just thought I'd kind of say that.
No, it's and I agree with that. Like all books, courses, 100% to gain knowledge is amazing. But you and I spoke about this as well. Excuse me. I just did like an hour of hill sprints, and I'm feeling it in the body. You and I said, like, man, we could watch Gary Vee all day and get pumped up, but if you just sit on the couch and watch Gary Vee all day to get pumped up, what's the point?
Yeah.
So it is great to read these books, and it is a form of knowledge, but for myself, it gets down, and so his form of study is got no deities. We're actually understanding how the brain is formed, how it works. We're talking quantum physics, quantum mathematics, astrological shit. Like it's hard to explain what the class is, because it's not one thing. It's not like, yeah, we're just studying Soto Zen and this is all Soto Zen is. It's so much deeper. So for me to learn why I was built the way I was built, meaning all the programs that run in my head, how they came, where they came from, how in the womb our cells are structured with everything that's happened to our parents, then what they're eating, what they're vibing on, their fears, what they think, and then the first 6 years of our life, man, like you got to understand that's where everything's been installed in us. just like when you get your iPhone and you start putting in the apps, those first 6 years, that's it. And then after that 6 years, all we do is reform them and repeat them and box them and prejudice
Yeah.
them different. And then that's how we see the world, you know. And I had to understand where all that came from me, and it was fears that were projected onto me, the stories that I was told I was never going to be shit, I was never good enough, you know, and then being kicked out at an early age, and the guilt and the shames, right? And even
Yeah.
talk about that shit, it's past, it doesn't exist. But I had to know where it came from, because you have to let go of it, not relive it. Let go of it, because it isn't who you are, right? And that took a long time, and I'm still going through it, but
Yeah.
it's and it'll never end, right? Even for Doctor, the guy I'm with, like he's 30, 40 years into it, and we're human. We're not robots. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, he's certainly a piece of work. I've got a lot of respect for Christian. You know, we see him, we pop in for a treatment or a cup of tea or just for lunch or something. The guy looks incredible, and he's just so fucking cool and chilled out. And,
Yeah.
But I'm sure he has moments as well, like we all do. I just I'll just finish up with, we've got the book of knowledge and we've got the podcasts and the people and the learners and the lessons. And I think we both said that that's not useless information, knowledge is good. But something I heard quite recently is, you talk about creating your own mastermind. So you've got a group of 4 or 5 friends and you sit down and, 5 brains better than one to run ideas for yourself. Now, some of us may not have the opportunity to do that because of location or geographical, distances. But what I heard recently is you can create these mastermind groups or mentor groups within our own mind. So let's say it's Gary V, Rich Roll, my friend Joe from Ramsey, whoever it is, and you put this group of people into your mind, and you can have different groups of people for different things. And then whenever you're coming up to make a decision, you run it past one of these groups and think, well, what would Gary say about it? What would Rich say about it? What would my wife say about it? And you kind of run through these ideas, and one might say, do you know, that's a great idea. One might say, do you know what, do some preparation. One might say, just wait a little bit longer. But then from this kind of weird discussion in your head, you have to take 30 seconds. You can then make a better decision yourself based off 5 minds. Obviously, it depends on how you perceive that work. But I think if they're good enough to make it into your group, they're good enough to have something to offer. But
I agree.
That's it for me.
And I'll leave on this. To understand the reason you are the way you are, and to not just react to those programs, because it's not you. Somebody programmed us, right? And when we're a child, we're so free and we're so just open to the world, and then sooner or later we get closed into this little box of fears. And just to ask the question why we are this way, and my way might not be your way, John's way might not be my way or your way either. Just find your way, and understand it's not a deity, it's not a god. The mind, though, is something you have to figure out for yourself. And I think that's a lifelong journey.
Okay.
And a beautiful one at that. John, thank you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, my friend. The last thing I'll say is eclipse tonight, longest eclipse in 100 years, blood moon. Get your shit cleared out. Get this stuff.
Yes.
Any self-criticism, self-doubts.
Journal.
If you think about my sore elbow, get all this shit out of your brain. Get in a piece of paper. Burn it. Your cupboards, that pair of jeans you've not worn for 3 years, ditch it. You know, those 42 tins of beans that are 7 years out of date. Get rid, clear out, and have a fresh beginning from tomorrow. But for me, thank you all for watching. We get these highs. I've watched your shows each and every day, and it just means the world.
That's cool.
They're listening, and I couldn't give a monkeys if it's not 100,000 people. If just one person benefits, then that is a-okay by me. So thank you.
I think we're creeping up on 100 followers, which is pretty cool for starting, a month ago.
From zero. Yeah. Thanks, Max. I'll see you soon, buddy. Bye.